Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with week 5 of the ADL. And so, we're playing against Pez this week. Actually, I don't know why, I feel like I'm in a rush. Usually I'm in a rush, but today I actually have a little bit of time, so we can take some time to break this down. So, welcome, first of all. I hope you're having a great day. If you're not, I hope it gets better. So, right here, this is the matchup for week 5. We're playing against Pez, and I forgot his team's name. We could do him a little bit of respect and look it up right now, as we will, because I don't know his team's name. I mean, I definitely do, but I don't remember it. So if we do a quick little Google search right here, Pez, his team is the Samurai City Samurai. It's very creative. A little bit repetitive for my taking, but I like this, and this logo is quite nice. So we're playing against them, those guys. And this is the matchup this week. Going into it, we have our new team as we had last week against Vex, which is Zacian, this guy. I really don't know the names of them. I forget all the time. This is Sableye, Wigglytuff, uh, Moogie. This is Panoramic. This is the Dragon. This is, you guys know these guys. I don't have to name them off for you. I can't remember the names. And then there's this team. Right, this is kind of scary. You have oh my gosh, dude, Mewtwo, Sneasel, Tall. You have Hisuian, Ghost. You have Mega Garchomp. You have dude, what's this guy called? Arcanine Hisui, Bramblegast, Rotom Frost, Mandibuzz, Seismitoad, Sylveon, and what do you call this guy? Melmetal. So, going into prep, I was a little worried because I didn't prep at all, and you might think I would because I was expecting this matchup. If we look at my videos, um, I used the same thumbnail twice. Wow. If you look at this video right here, okay, oh gosh, and you scroll into the comment section. Oh wait, which video was it? I can't remember. Let's find out. Let's find out together what video it was. There he is, Pez. This is the guy. You're still gonna get cooked week 5, but good changes. P.S. Should have gone Por. You know what's funny, Pez? I thought about going Porygon, but Kill, he was like, right here, Sir Kill. He was like, you don't need that guy, and I was like, I know. And Wigglytuff is lit. So back to the matchup anyway. I was really looking forward to this battle because he wrote that comment. I was like, okay, now I have to turn up. Now I didn't actually turn up that much because in reality I was quite busy. And last week I know in the video I said I was gonna prep ahead of time and send it to someone. None of that happened. That's gonna happen this week, though. I promise. I swear. So I prepped this morning, which is we're supposed to battle at like 10:30. And yesterday morning I was busy, so we had to push it back to that day, to today, and which worked better for both of us, by the way. And then so I'm prepping this morning, and I instantly start sweating because these two guys, I knew these two were on his team, but they're really scary. And then there's Mega Garchomp. These three alone are pretty scary guys. Mewtwo immediately gets me kind of scared. I start sweating a little bit because it does have the coverage it needs to hit my guys, kinda. Um, but it doesn't end up coming, and I understand why. But I was very worried about it. Right? It has recover. Crunch from Zacian at max attack is doing 50%, so it's 50 to 60% with crunch, and you can always run I don't know, some sort of set, if you ran Iron Defense, Calm Mind or something, and just got rid of Meowscarada. That might have been cool. And I don't know, it could have been nice, but it doesn't come, which is nice. Melmetal, I'm pretty sure is coming. Actually, let me tell you which guys I thought were coming before that, and I'm not gonna really break down this too much. I'm just gonna go into my team. I thought this was coming, this was coming, this was coming, this was coming. I thought Toad was coming, and then I had no reason to suspect this, but I thought this guy would be coming. Um, Either Toad or Mandibuzz, and I thought this would be coming because he's brought it every single week. Every replay I saw of him, he always had this guy on deck, so I figured it would just be here. I didn't think Sylveon would come or Mandibuzz would come because every time I see those two guys, I see a big sign around their necks in 1200 point font bold letters that says "Set up on me, please." And so I figured he wouldn't let that come because I have a lot of good setup guys. He wouldn't want that free setup turn for me. So I didn't think Sylveon would come. I didn't think Bramblegast would come because it's bad. Rotom could come, but it's not that good. It's Scarfwillow's kind of nice. Sneasler. Sneasler I thought would come for sure, but it gets hardwalled by Sableye, to the moon. It doesn't do too much to Sableye. It can Dire Crush poison me, but not that bad at the end of the day. Let's jump into what I brought really quickly. First thing I threw on was Necrozma because this thing was going to have to tank the majority of its hits from Mewtwo. I ran a mixed defensive set with Dark Pulse, Earth Power, Taunt, and Moonlight. I believe Taunt was to stop like rocks from going up. It was really good against Toad and all those guys. Toad, Mandibuzz, Sylveon, it could pretty much beat those guys. Uh, Not beat them, but it could mess them up quite a bit. Taunt them, takes away a lot of their utility. The only thing they have left is Mandibuzz U-turn really. And then Necrozma could just Moonlight up on them, which is nice. It's tough with longevity on defensive guys now because like all the healing moves are nerfed down to 8 PP instead of like except like Wish and the other one. So it's a pretty tough place to be defensively. However, it's not doing stuff for too long. Necrozma was just gonna be able to beat the defensive guys if it needed to be. Needed to beat them. Earth Power, Dark Pulse. I think Dark Pulse is obviously for the Mega or the Mewtwo. Earth Power is for the Melmetal, and it hits a few other things like Sneasler. Moonlight for healing. Taunt, as I explained before. Taunt is just to stop some stuff from setting up rocks or putting Toxic up or anything. Magearna, finally, I brought a setup set. Shift Gear, or not finally, I brought a setup set every single week, but this time I was really excited because if Sylveon came, this thing was setting up for free. Shift Gear, Aura Sphere, Iron Head, Floor Cannon, pretty strong. I wanted Shift Gear Calm Mind, but it wasn't able to fit. I need Iron Head because I can't run, I can't hit Sylveon if I don't run Iron Head. I'm negative attack, but it doesn't matter. After the +1 from Shift Gear, it's a 2 KO. Even without, it could potentially be 2 KO if it's Spadef. But Magearna here to set up has a really good matchup after it gets fast. Flare Cannon's killing a lot. It's doing a lot of damage. Actually, it's really good this game after the Shift Gear, especially because it's so hard. If I can get a kill with Aura Sphere first or Iron Head first, Flare Cannon becomes free for the next turn, and it really makes it hard for him to beat. Next is Sableye, Foul Play, Recover Taunt with a Wisp. It's kind of primarily checking the Sneasler. But this speed here is to outspeed Melmetal if he does decide to bring it with no speed. I don't really need too much defenses. If I go max, I still can't beat Mega Garchomp, and it doesn't really need max at all. It only needs 252 bold to stop the Sneasler from having fun. So the speed is kind of extra EVs, I guess. I could have put in Spadef, but these EVs are just enough to outspeed the other guy. So pretty simple. Blanket checks a lot of his physical stuff. Prankster before is really good as well, just in case. But yeah. Dragonite's Choice Scarf with Modest, Earthquake, Ice Beam, Draco Meteor, Heat Wave. Pretty simple set. It's designed to beat the Dragonite, or the Dragon guy he has before Scale Shot. After Scale Shot, I have Scarf Meowscarada over here to deal with that. But this is just beforehand. If I want to sneak away and get something and kill Sneasler with Earthquake, I can kill stuff with Draco. I can kill that with Ice, or something with Ice Beam. And then Heat Wave does like 50-ish%, even to Spadef Melmetal if I needed to get that damage off. Zamazenta, Close Combat, Crunch, Ice Fang, Heavy Slam. Heavy Slam will OHKO Spadef. Spadef Sylveon if I need to. Sylveon's still a problem regardless because that guy seems to find a ways to be fat regardless. It doesn't matter what you do. He's just fat. He's big. He's there to stay. Close Combat is pretty solid for like Melmetal and stuff after a little bit chip. Crunch, Ice Fang, Heavy Slam. Pretty simple set. These are for the big three that I mentioned earlier. Close Combat for the Melmetal, Crunch for the Mewtwo, and then Ice Fang for the Dragon. Need a little chip on everything before I can click the button. But yeah, pretty solid set. Pretty strong guy. It is the fastest Pokemon on the field, barring Scarfs, which is nice. Zamazenta doing his job there. And then Meowscarada is wearing the Choice Scarf, just in case that the Garchomp does get to +1 after Scale Shot. I can come in and play rough for the kill. That's what this is EV'd for. It's the kill after -1 defense. Use your play rough, knockoff, Flower Trick. Very simple set. Not too great, not too special. But yeah, this is the team we're gonna roll up with, and that is right here. So, dark, perfect. All right, cool. So, as soon as I see the lead matchup, I'm like, what? Nah, dude, no way, no way. I didn't think he would bring these guys. Or I thought he would bring these guys, but not over. I didn't think he'd bring Sylveon, and I didn't actually think he'd bring Rotom Frost. I thought it would be these four plus the other two I mentioned. I didn't think that both Mewtwo and the other guy would be sitting on the sideline, because Mewtwo can get Recover and stuff. Like Mewtwo has a lot of potential for late game, like recover stuff. Even if it does have to eat like 50% from crunch, I guess there is the flinch trench, but you can always like I can't kill you unless you're below 60%, and then you can keep recovering. I just thought he would bring it, but he doesn't. Mag is also very fat. If I wanted to run AV Mag, so I get that too. But yeah, right away looking at the lead matchup, I like my speed advantage. Dragonite is now also like 100% uh, way better because it couldn't outspeed the Mewtwo before. Now it can come in and clean late game if it needs to. Meowscarada also looks a little bit better since it no longer has to deal with that other guy. Um, Wait, no. What am I saying? What was the other guy I'm thinking of? Oh no, it's better because I don't have to deal with like tricky Scarf this guy. This guy would have been like really annoying if I got like cooked by that. But that was a big relief too. That didn't come. And so I'm looking at the meet. Definitely not what I thought. I think I didn't bring what he thought either, as you'll see in a second here from the chat. He doesn't know. I lead off with Sableye right away. He brings Sneasler. I go ahead and just click Will-O-Wisp for no reason without Mega Evolving, just in case he wanted to stay in. Even though I know my opponent is not that stupid. I played it once before in a team tour, and he played very well. So I'm an idiot. Magearna comes in here on the Sylveon because it's literally free for days. He's going to be forced out into the Arcanine Hisui. I don't know what possessed me to click Shift Gear instead of Aura Sphere right there. I should have just clicked Aura Sphere. Now I'm forced out, and I revealed my set at the same time. Very tactical. I go and do this guy because if he Will-O-Wisp there and I decide to fighting move, I'll 2-hit KO regardless, and then he'll just be swept. But instead he risks it with the burn instead of going for a fire type attack, and I get my Zamazen to burn in the second turn, which is bad. I go back into Magearna here as he goes back into Sylveon, rerunning the exact situation we were before. This time I'm not an idiot and I do click Aura Sphere and I find out the set, meaning that last time, that turn before, if I just clicked it on the Will-O-Wisp there, it would have been quite a brilliant game for me. It would have been tough to deal with Sylveon actually, so maybe it wasn't a good play by me, but we find out this is Max Spadef kind of, which means he is faster than me as well. So I go ahead and bring in this guy, Heavy Slam on has on Arcanine predicting the Sylveon. He brings in Sneasler because Sneasler also like doesn't get touched by this guy. I don't think I get Earthquake or anything. I'm pretty sure I checked and I'm pretty sure I don't. But I take away 25% there with Heavy Slam. Go back into Sableye because Sableye again is hardballing this thing all day, even in base form. I get poisoned from Poison Touch, but that's whatever. That was going to happen regardless. Sableye comes in, or Megas evolves, and then I just believe I recover. Yeah, I click recover here so that I can come back against Sneasler the next time more comfortably, especially with the poison damage racking up. Mag comes in on Sylveon because it gets to come in on Sylveon all day. And I get to go ahead and go into the Crozma on the Hisuian guy because he had the Wish up in the air if I just did 50% for nothing. He Will-O-Wisp my Necrozma, which I'm fine to trade. I go ahead and Earth Power and take it down to 93%. So now it's at 7%, which is really good for my Magearna, right? This thing was kind of stopping Magearna from sweeping, and it was stopping Meowscarada from being dangerous with Play Rough or Flower Trick. I mean, mainly Play Rough. After I get a little bit more chip on Sylveon, Play Rough can 2-hit KO physically offensive Sylveon, so it won't be a switch in. It'll force a kill that way. So that damage is really nice here. Mandibuzz comes in here on Magearna. Again, Mandibuzz not doing anything to Magearna. It's forced to U-turn out. And Rotom Frost comes in. I shift here again, and I'm like, start licking my lips because this is going to be an easy wrap after this because the guy's so low. And then I get tricked, and I was like, oh man, that's evil. So I get tricked out here, which means this Magearna set is no longer able to set up, and I'm choice locked in a Scarf, which isn't too bad, but it's pretty bad because I don't outspeed anything other than these two, or I don't outspeed these two, which is like what I need to outspeed with Magearna. That's the important part. So I switch out right away because I didn't think he would just give me the Rotom because I am faster than it, I think, with my speed. I didn't think he would just want to give it to me. He goes into Garchomp. I go hard into Dragonite on the Swords Dance, and I click Ice Beam because Draco can miss, and I would cry. Ice Beam does pick up the kill here, and Sylveon is back in to wall me. I bring in Magearna once again because once again Magearna just beating things up all day. I no longer have my leftovers, I believe, so I can't recover as much anymore. I go ahead and Iron Head when I should have Floor Canned. If I Floor Canned right here, I would have been the GOAT, but I'm not. I think I don't know what he was expecting, but I should have just Floor Cannon there and been the greatest player of all time. Instead, Sneasler goes back up to full instead of dying. I bring in Zamazenta here because I bring in Zamazenta instead of Sableye because if I go Sableye, and he U-turns out, he can go Arcanine and outspeed me and Morning Sun. And I don't want the Arcanine full again. If the Arcanine goes full, it's a bad look for me. And it makes Magearna even harder to do damage and be useful because I now have to play as though my Magearna is scarfed. And if my Magearna is scarfed and he just wants to, like, it could be bad. It could be very bad. He could get up rocks for free if he decides to go this on Floor Cannon, put up rocks for free. It's just like, it could be a bad thing. Actually, he wouldn't be able to put up rocks for free, but it would just be annoying if he got this Arcanine back up to full. So I don't want to allow that. So yeah, that's why I go Zamazenta here. I know I take a little bit more damage than I need to, especially with the burn, but it's just not worth letting this Harknite go to full. Sylveon comes in here. It is but a voice, whatever. I go into Mag as he goes into he Will-O-Wisp, not Will-O-Wisp. He wishes up. I don't know what I was expecting here. I just Iron Head and take out this guy. This also stops he brings in Arcanine, but I think he forgot I was scarfed because I'm faster. So Arcanine comes in, but then gets forced out, and I get to do a nice little 2% to the Mandibuzz, because Mandibuzz is like fat. If I U-turn, again, same situation. I can't let this U-turn into Sableye because Sableye will let it heal. Sneaser's back in here. Although I am faster and I will CC for 0%, he's just going to kill me with Dire Claw. I didn't go into Sableye because I did think he was going to U-turn to try to get his Arcanine back in, but I got that play wrong because I'm bad. Dragonite comes in here and he already knows I'm faster, so I go Mag on the Sylveon. And this is about where like the game comes down to just a bunch of 50-50s. He has Protect, so actually he can play around it a little bit better than I do. But basically, I need to get a play right with Magearna eventually in the game to keep myself in contention, or I have to stall out every single Wish and every single Protect, which I just can't do. I mean, I could do it with Necrozma. Necrozma needs to stay alive so that I can taunt this guy and beat it in the late game 1v1. And same with Mandibuzz. Those two need to be killed by potentially Necrozma and or Sableye, because Sableye also has taunt. But now that we also have another win con in, I need a little bit more HP down on Sylveon and a little bit more HP down on Sneasler. After that, my Meowscarada will be able to come in and clean with, what do you call that move? Play Rough. I bring in this time because he was getting kind of frisky with the plays, and then I'm literally an idiot and I misclick this. So I figured here what would happen is I CC this guy. I don't want him to I don't want him to U-turn into that. I could have just foul played, I guess. But what I was afraid of from this point on was letting this guy in, I guess. I don't know what I was afraid of, but instead of just staying in, I go ahead and try to switch out to my Dragonite, but instead switch out to my Meowscarada, and I literally lose my Meowscarada. So that sucks for me. Now that chip on Sylveon won't matter as much, so I'm in trouble. I go into Necrozma to taunt it, but it attacks me instead. It has 5,000,000% plus burn. I think I just go ahead and heal, or I don't heal. I don't know what I do. Oh yeah, I do heal here. I should have healed again, but I was afraid of him healing. So he goes ahead and Flare Blitzes for 1,000,000%, and then I Earth Power and finish off the Arcanine, which is nice, but that was the least value guy that could have died. Everything else dying is more important, I think. Especially now that Meowscarada is gone. Caesar comes in and U-turn crits me for 1,000,000%, and now Sableye is going to be really low after I switch it out. And so Sableye needs to... This is really funny. Sableye needs to heal up on Mandibuzz or Sneasler, and Necrozma needs to heal up on Sylveon or Mandibuzz, but potentially Mandibuzz can hit me like really hard. I bring in my Magearna here, which no longer has his passive recovery, so this damage is starting to matter a little bit. He goes ahead and protects as I Iron Head. This is like a really slog part of the game where nothing super happens for a little bit. Mandibuzz comes in here and I do very little. I force it to heal, I believe. I was going for a flinch here to ensure I force it for heal, but I didn't get it. Sneasler comes in here, which is pretty bad. I no longer have to worry about this thing, but I don't care, I guess. And oh, that's right, I can't switch in Sableye because it'll take too much damage. I go into Garchomp here. This forces back in Magearna, and eventually I have to get a play right. So I believe he's gone Mandibuzz the last 2 times. Or no, he got Mandibuzz last. Oh no, he protects this time. Basically, there's a lot of conditioning. I Floor Cannon this time. So the next time, I think he predicts that I'm going to go for an Iron Head, I think. He wishes up to get his Sneasler back at the full. I bring Magearna in right away because he's baited into attacking the Dragonite as the wish comes down. Now I do believe he is going to go into Mandibuzz because I went Floor Cannon last time and I Floor Cannon the Mandibuzz and take that out. Mandibuzz being gone is pretty darn good because now it makes... I mean, it's just another guy gone, right? He can't switch around forever. He can only heal up this guy if he switches into it, and I don't need to worry about making that play right. Now Floor Cannon is relatively freer. Especially if I can get the Sylveon down. I Earthquake here, and I do crit, and that is 38%, which gets me worried. and makes me realize this is actually physically defensive, which means Floor Cannon is doing a lot more than I previously thought. Now we need to get this guy below 50% to get Floor Cannon to Oko, and Floor Cannon will kill Sneasler coming in as well. So I go into, I believe, I go into Necrozma here and I taunt. This was the game. This was the turn that decided the game. If he went into Sneasler on my Earth Power, he would have lost because it dies. And then if he stayed in here, and what do you call? And if so, it basically depended. If he switches out and I Earth Power, he loses. If he stays in and I taunt, he loses. But if he stays in and I Earth Power, he wins. And if I go Sneasler and taunt, he wins. So it was like actually like a 50-50, but actually not. Actually, it was like a 25 point, like whatever it is, 1/4. We got basically two options resulted in him winning. Two options resulted in me losing. I taunt here, so he cannot wish, and that brings him to the same percentage here. But now Earth Power is 100% free. I Earth Power this, and he can kill me here, but that spit F drop doesn't matter. His Floor Cannon now will take it out. I bring in the Magirna right now because, again, he can't switch in Sleeves with a Floor Cannon. I take out the Sylveon with Floor Cannon. Go back to one special defense or special attack, and the Sneasler comes in here, kills me the close combat, but then because Sableye isn't needing to switch in here, it's still at like 30%. U-turn's going to do 90%, and I'm going to be able to cover back to full, and then eventually pick up the win. So, great game to my opponent. Finally got us out of that little losing slump we were in. So, picked up the win week 5. Going on to week 6, I think we played Bubba. But yeah, that is all I'm going to have time for today. Sableye coming in clutch, literally carrying the game. But yeah, that is all I have time for today. Goodbye, God bless, and have a great day.